Hello, this is Sheila Webber, and I'm just going to say a few words about the second part of the handout that I'm emailing and putting on Mole about the second Inf6320 assignment, the information literacy assignment. And I'm talking now about the second part of the handout, the partially completed template. And this is the template that you'll complete. By the way, obviously I haven't included the cover sheet, which is part of the template, but you must complete the cover sheet. So as I've said here, the answers are based on the two articles which I talked about in week 7, namely Schulze and Boland, which is the paper you read for a seminar, and a paper which cites it, and a later paper which cites Schulze and Boland, Nachin le Jeune. And for the first part, I've given you my example answers. So what I might have put if I was completing the assignment. So that's the explanations of why things were cited. As I've stressed here, I spent some time, but they're not things to copy. They're not perfect, and obviously they relate specifically to the articles I was looking at. They're just given as an illustration of the type of things that you might, arguments you might use if they apply in your work, and also they illustrate some of the points in the frequently asked questions. So if I scroll down, you'll see I've put in the original article citation, I've put in each case the reference, just putting the author and the year, and so normally if this citation style has been used in your article, you can just copy that. If it uses numerical numbering, then put a similar style to this, as long as it's quite clear which reference you're referring to. I've put here some comments. You are not meant to put comments, but my comments are giving some information about why I've used certain practices, why I've done certain things. And as I said, sometimes it relates back to the frequently asked questions. So for example, when I've highlighted reason 7b, I've said where there are options A, B and C, etc. for a reason, say which ones apply, and you can do this either in the explanation as I've done here, or as with the next example, and that's here, in the reason number box. So either is okay. So that's going back to the frequently asked questions about should I say whether, as well as giving the reason number, say whether it's A, B or C. And so the comments are my comments trying to explain why I've done certain things. So this is to do with the explanations. And then if I go on to the last part, where you're comparing Article A and Article B using one of these three options. So I'm just giving notes about what kind of issues I think there are to tackle, sometimes some advice about how to tackle that particular option. So I'm not writing example answers as I am in the previous section. And so for each of these options, option 1, 2 and 3, there's some explanations, and I give some examples from the two articles that I mentioned. The original article, Article A, being the one that you studied in your seminar, and the second one being Nachin le Jeune, which cited that article. And so, as I've said, in each case I've given you some information. I'll just highlight this one to do with research methods, that obviously you have to understand the explanation of research methods to be able to do this, and if you don't, then you can do some background reading which will come in useful when you yourself come to do your dissertation, or you might choose a different option if you really feel you can't get to grips with understanding the research methods. As I've said, it's certainly not wasted time learning more about research methods, because you must do that for your dissertation. And I've indicated here some places where you might go to learn a bit more about research methods. And so that's all I was going to say about the additional information that I've given you in the handout.